YouTube. Let's talk about some Casios today. I'm gonna be starting another mod, and that's to change the color of the display. So I've got a couple different colors here: red, blue, and green. And what I'm gonna do is actually maybe change the color of some of my displays. And what we can do with these displays, so you can see here, this is kind of, let me see here, you can kind of see as we turn these. I apologize for the glare. Okay, yeah, let me do something about this light. Otherwise, when we're gonna, you can kind of see we go from a positive display to a negative display. So it turns a blue. Or what you can do is you can change the font from black to blue, which is what I'm going to try doing. So I prefer a positive display, but I think it'd be cool to see if we can change the digits to blue, or I think even red might look good. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I'm not going to do it on this watch. I'm actually going to do it on my Pro Trek. So let me jump into that. Okay, so on my Pro Trek, I've already got the back cover off. So this is going to be a little bit quicker for me. But take this off. So we need the new polarized film to go behind. So the way you essentially want to do this is you need to remove the reflective layer, then you remove the rear polarizer, and then you replace that with your new colored one. So I think I'm thinking to go with blue. Gotta be careful because you got a lot of tiny parts here that you don't want to lose. So make sure you're doing this over some kind of a mat that'll catch things, because if you can see here, there's just tiny springs right here, and if you lose them, you're screwed. Well, I guess not screwed, you won't have an LED light. So you know what? I'm actually gonna take those off right now because I know that I'm probably gonna lose them. Let's first take the big ones out, and let's see if we can get those little ones out too, because it'll be easier to apply. Alright, so we have one that got stuck in there. There we go, that one's out. And that leaves us with, you can see right here, we got those tiny ones there, so I'm just going to take them out as well, because they will fall out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this off camera because it's just too hard to do it on, but I'll try to capture as much of it as I can. Okay, so I've got everything removed except for just a LCD now, and the easiest way to do this is just to take your old one that you removed and use it as a template. So I'm just going to put it right here, cut out the exact same shape, and then we're just going to apply it to the back of the LCD, and that should do it. Then we can reassemble it, and we should be good to go. Just a word of caution is that the part that's really irreplaceable is this reflector. This is what gives the watch contrast when you shine a light on it, because it reflects the light back. So without this, it doesn't get as vivid under direct light. But once you put this white backing on it, I think it does a pretty good job already. So it just doesn't reflect natural light back out. So just a word of caution that this will impact performance, but we'll see what it looks like when I finish. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut. I'm not going to film this because it's too hard to do this on camera because you got to be pretty precise, but I think you get the idea. You cut out the shape and then you just apply it to the back. I'm actually not sure if this is self-adhesive or not. I don't think it is, because on this green one it says it is with adhesive. I'm guessing this blue one is not, which is fine because I think it'll be secure in there anyway. So I actually prefer it not to be for the first one. I'll see what it looks like, and if it looks good, then maybe I can always try the green one. But I'll give this a whirl and we'll see what it looks like. Alright guys, so here is the final product. This is a very tedious, frustrating process because you have to get it just right. So you just got to take your time and be patient. This was my third attempt to get it right, and you're better off. My first mistake was I cut it too big. I kind of tried to make it bigger than it really should be, and that just caused more problems. So you're better off going small because the bezel will cover a lot of it up. So I'm gonna do a little more kind of smoothing out here, get these air bubbles out, and then we're gonna put it back together, and yeah, and then I'll show kind of what it looks like. Okay, so we got this put together, and just wanted to kind of show what it looks like. So now you can kind of see that the numbers are blue if the camera is showing it. So that is how I changed it. So yeah, I mean, kind of a pain in the ass mod, to be honest, but hey, if you're into kind of tinkering, it's a fun one. Otherwise, maybe leave things alone if you're happy with them. So I have it kind of temporarily put together. I still gotta put the sensors back in, but I'm actually gonna I just did this to test it, make sure everything's working, and I'm actually gonna take it back apart to reapply the lume. So the lights are working fine. So I'm actually gonna take this apart and reapply the lume, because I took that off during this process because it just got a little messy. And the lume actually I think might work better because this two-way mirror film actually blocks how much light was getting on the lume. So charging it was require like a powerful flashlight. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how this works, how the lume will work now that we have that film removed. So yeah, so again, sorry I can't record this, it's just too hard. Last time I tried, my head was in the way, and you're working with tiny springs, tiny parts. I would need the camera like kind of from this direction, not this direction, so that I can work easier. But yeah, so I'm gonna take this apart, apply the lume, and then we'll do a lume test to see how much, I guess how much different or better does the lume look without that film. We are back, so put it all back together, and it was a little bit of a pain in the butt to do this, but it is blue. You can't really tell because natural sunlight probably looks a little better, but you can see kind of what it looked like before. Had the positive display with black. Now it's got like a blue tint and blue font. So like I said, it's an easy mod. It's just very tedious, but just kind of how it looks like. And I redid the lume as well, but I got a little bit of a dark spot here. I think it's where I apply the lume, it's pressing against the LCD, creating like a little bit of a dark spot there. So I might have to go back in there. Look, I'm gonna give it a couple days just to see maybe if things dry and settle down on their own. But if not, then I might have to go back in there. But everything is back to working. So that's all set, and then yeah, that's kind of how it works. So is this a mod I'd recommend? Probably not. I just did it because it was incidental. I was trying to increase the lume, and I wanted to peel off the two-way mirror off the back, and when I did that, it left a super sticky mess. So then I was forced to peel off the polarizing film off the back. And without that, you couldn't see the, you know, the numerals. So this was kind of a forced mod, but I figured if I'm gonna have to go put it back on, I might as well try a different color. So this is kind of what the blue looks like. I'll try to get a picture in the sunlight because I think that's where it'll kind of show more. But yeah, there it is. So let me know if you have any questions. And visibility is much kind of dimmer without that reflector to kind of push the light back. So that's kind of the trade-off, is that you do get better nighttime visibility, but it is kind of causes it to be a little bit dimmer than it would be. So I'll keep playing with it. I think if I remove the lume, that white reflector by itself would be still helpful, or maybe I'll put less lume, so maybe they'll kind of do this one all over again and maybe just do like a very fine bit of lume, just as maybe that'll kind of help better balance things out. But